Hey guys, Lucy here, and I am laying here in my bed, and I'm being reminded that tomorrow will be 13 years that my mom graduated from this life to her eternal home, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. I had sat in a recliner beside my mom's bed. She was in a hospital bed in hospice for 8 months in her very own home. And I sat in that large living room. It was huge. Their house was huge. And I sat in that large living room that we placed that hospital bed in. And I sat in that recliner for 5 days. 5 days. I would not leave my mother's side, waiting on death. It was on a Monday that it was a strange thing. That weekend, because I'd work all week with helping take care of my mother. Here's a great picture of my mother and my sister. My mother was always emotional. But I had left that Friday, and we had caretakers on the weekend to take care of my mother because I worked round the clock practically Monday through Friday. I needed help. And I felt this intuition inside of myself. Should I take this weekend off? Because I don't think Mom's doing well. And I took the weekend off. And I came in on a Monday morning. And I walked in. My dad grabbed his hunting hat. And he said, I'm going to go work in the yard. That job was like a 24/7 job. My dad was always cutting grass because he had a lot of acreage and he liked to do a lot of things himself. That's how my family is. We love gardening, and he said, thanks for getting here, baby. It was like 6:30 in the morning. I said, love you, Dad. And he walked outside. I raced over there to greet my mother, and she wasn't okay. She was, her eye, I mean, y'all, this kills me. Because I thought to myself, Daddy, you must have just got up and came to the kitchen and I walked in the door, because how could you miss this? My mother was talking out of her head like she had had some kind of a stroke, and she was just repeating herself over and over and telling me, turn off the water, turn off the water. And there was no water on. And it scared me so bad, I called hospice, and the nurse came real quickly. And she checked her vitals and everything, and she said, it took me to a side, and she said, it won't be long. And I said, what are you talking about? It won't be long. And she said, your mother's vitals are shutting down, and there's nothing else we can do, Lucy. You, Lucy, have to accept this. She's going home in a matter of days. And then the hospice nurse left, and she said, I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm thinking, what? Why? Because y'all, you want your parents forever. Nobody wants to lose their parent. And I remember this like it was yesterday. And I'm having the hardest time today thinking about it. And then that very day, on a Monday, my mother went into a coma. And she never spoke again. she died on a Friday at 11:35. Well, it's not the afternoon, 11:35 a.m. And I remember just sitting in that recliner. I would talk to her and say, "Your baby girl's here." It was the hardest thing I've ever done because I've never seen anybody die. I sat by her, and I remember that morning I said, "Daddy, come near quick. Come now," because I could tell her breathing got shallow. And I watched my father kiss her last breaths out of her. And I said, "That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life, because that is a love that lasted for 58 years. That's love, and that's the kind of love I want to have with Big Show." I miss her. I miss this woman. She was so strong. Most loving woman I've ever been allowed to know. Y'all, embrace your life. We get one shot at this. We get one shot at